What is going on with video games?
All right, if you're here from Reddit, you might need to change your tampon for this one. Boys, all I'm trying to figure out is how we went from games like this.
I just lost my fucking brother, all right?
This game was awesome.
My brother! You and your tower and all this fucking emulsion can go to hell!
Yes! Oh, I love that shit.
Here, you point it in that direction, and you pull this to make it go bang.
Listen, do I come to your job and tell you how to murder civilians?
What?
No. So don't come to my job and tell me how to do
Splinter
mine.
Cell, that was legendary times. Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry. Who is your target audience here? Young men. We have to accept that 9 out of 10 customers for video games are young men. Start making it for them, and then your game will succeed.
Today, we fight.
To whatever the hell this is in 2025.
Oh no. No! No! Oh, why? They ruined my game! Oh. I played the Huntress so much. Oh, the nurse was so good. Trapper, I was a dick with Trapper. They ruined my game. Damn it, man. Oh, come on. Really? Oh, no. Yeah. Okay, Call of Duty, I couldn't take it anymore. When they started putting shit like that in, I'm done. Look, you see that sign right there? That sign came from the last Blockbuster that is still in business today because my dad knew the manager. That came out in 2011, and we got the sign because I loved Call of Duty so much when I was that age. I love Call of Duty. They fucked my game. They ruined it. They ruined it.
Somebody explain to me why everything everywhere has to be gay now. Can I go 2 seconds without some degenerate, non-binary, Hello Kitty ass nonsense in my face telling me how their husband's boyfriend transitioned? I'm sorry if this hurts your fifis, but you can't be gay and masculine. Gayness and masculinity are opposites.
They really are. Get mad. This guy is legendary. I'm definitely subscribing to him after this. Okay. Yeah, Gears of War was great. Halo, guys. Halo during the Xbox 360 times was amazing times. Army of Two. I remember when I had Ben come over to my house and we played split screen of Army of Two, and it was, the aggro system was so awesome. Oh gosh, I loved it. And just Kratos with his gauntlets and the his hate for his family was amazing. Oh my god, all these were great games. Yeah, no, you can't. These are two different opposites. It wouldn't have worked.
Get mad. Get real mad. When I was first getting into Xbox in 2001, every game was about war and about being a Chad. Now every game seems like it was made by women and dudes with weak arms. If you look back at the 2000s, we really had everything. Dante and Devil May Cry, an absolute unit. GTA, Yakuza, Metal Gear, Chad of War, Uncharted, SOCOM. Then the Xbox was more shooter focused. Halo, Call of Duty, Gears, Brothers in Arms, Splinter Cell. Last year I made a video called The Pussification of Video Games.
Oh my god, Rainbow Six Rogue Spear? Rainbow Six Siege was where I got into Rainbow Six. That was the first, that was my first game when if you just ran in, you're dead. You actually had to plan shit out and actually have a strategy. That was such a great game. Eagle Watch, Desert Storm. I heard those were amazing. Yeah. Oh no.
And you can consider this part 2 to that video. I want to give you some fresh examples of the pussification of modern video games and how this happened. You guys are probably tired of me talking about Red Dead 2 and Last of Us constantly, so I'm going to try to throw in some fresh examples. In this video, we're going to take a look at Spider-Man 2 and the cuckoning of Peter Parker, Ubisoft and the downfall of Rainbow Six, and finally, Immortals of Avium, Army of Two, and a couple single-player games. But first, are you boys tired of laggy, choppy gameplay on your clown shoes iPad?
Oh, is this
it's
an
time
ad?
to man up
Yep.
and get a dedicated gaming tablet like the Red Magic Astra gaming tablet. This
Red
thing is
Magic.
stupid fast and has a Snapdragon 8 Elite CPU. Heating up won't ever. Steam Link, Xbox Game Pass, PS Remote Play, all these are ready to go. You can play anything from anywhere on this bad boy. Finally,
that's
at
kinda cool.
$550, this thing is such a better deal than the iPad Pro 13 that's going to run you like $1,500. Click the links in the description to learn more about the Red Magic Astra gaming tablet. All right, back to the video. One of the most
Ew.
egregious examples of the demasculinization of a man is 2023's Spider-Cuck 2 exclusively on the PS5. Spider-Man
I was really sad about this. I love Spider-Man was my superhero growing up. I still have pictures when I was about yay high, and I was in my spider outfit, spider outfit uniform for Halloween. I still have it. In fact, I actually have a Spider-Man adult outfit in the garage, which I can go get right now, but I'm not because that's gonna take too much time. I love Spider-Man original Marvel. The second one, oh my god. I felt like I was babysitting for him the whole time.
2018 was much more of a 2000s game. Peter was the hero of his own story. This is why I
Spider-Man
bought
1
a
was
box
amazing.
that says Spider-Man on it. I want to play as a superhero. But oh, you bigoted white man. Insomniac Games is going to get you to pay $80 to watch your hero get cucked. And we all fell for it. This is why, by the way, I always say Sony is just as bad and just as woke as Xbox. Now look, just to be clear, I have no issue with Miles Morales as a character, and I have no issue with black characters in games.
Yeah,
Final
Miles
Fantasy
is
VII,
awesome.
Gears, Walking Dead, all great games. What we take issue with is that Spider-Man 2 is supposed to be a story about Peter, I don't know, being a superhero. This is why I bought the game. Instead, we play a game in which MJ and Miles Morales are the heroes. They are constantly saving Peter because they are faster, smarter, stronger, and more competent than Peter throughout the entire game. In literally every boss battle in Spider-Man 2, Peter is either rescued by Miles or rescued by ugly-ass girl boss MJ. Peter is...
Yeah, he's right about that. He's absolutely 100% right about that. I played it. Yeah. No, he's right about that. And I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed the first one way more than the second one for that reason.
depicted throughout Spider-Man 2 as childish, vengeful, and impotent. Miles, in every instance, is shown as more competent, more wise, more moral, and just a better person in general.
I can't let this go. I'm finally everything everyone needs me to be.
Yeah? You don't even answer my calls anymore, man. And what about MJ? You could have killed her. I know you're hurting, Pete, but you're better than this.
I know, but...
This is what the woke activists at Insomniac believe, though. They fetishize black people and say that black people are inherently better and more...
Okay. Let's take a look at this chart for a second. Huh. Literally, every single person is white.
I know, but
This is what the woke activists at Insomniac believe, though. They fetishize black people and say that black people are inherently better and more moral than white people. It's the most insane anti-white propaganda you'll ever see in a game. Insomniac Studios hates white people. In their second big encounter with a boss, Peter is unable to beat Venom. Miles comes in and easily beats Venom's ass. Just for fun, I asked AI, why was the symbiote able to possess Peter and not Miles? The answer was hilarious. Because Peter was mentally weak and Miles is mentally strong. You can't make this stuff up. Throughout the game, Peter Parker is shown as someone who needs to be saved, easily dominated by the symbiote, and driven by revenge. Also throughout the game, Miles is shown as perfect without any flaws, never motivated by revenge, and always the virtuous and moral good one. I get that a character with no flaws is boring, but why did Peter have all the flaws in his own game while Miles had none? But guys,
Because the people who made it were trying to push an agenda. Really simple. As sad as it is, it's really not that hard to understand. Pink hair, purple hair. Nah, that's just a redhead. Another redhead, that doesn't count. Is that green hair? So what you're dealing with here is a bunch of Californians.
Guys, this is what happens when you let satanic, homo, LGBTQ propagandists like the entire staff of Insomniac make a game.
No, wait, we found one. We finally found someone that's not white that works there. Holy shit. Wow.
You get anti-white, anti-male propaganda like Spider-Man 2. Oh, and if you think the Wolverine game isn't going to be ultra woke, you are coping hard, my friend. So let's look at Spidey 1 now. While it would be a stretch to call Spider-Man 2018 based, I think it's true that Spidey 1 is a pro-male game, while Spidey 2 is very much an anti-white and anti-male game. In the 2018 game, Mary Jane is more attractive. Peter actually saves MJ several times in the first game, you know, the way God intended it. Men saving women because this is what we are made to do, and we have bigger arms than them.
You know, there is something to be said. Naturally, it just feels better to know that we can pick heavier things up and we can use that for good or evil. I have to say it feels good to have that power. Now, whether you're a good or bad man depends on how you use that power. So, if you have art portraying the man that has the strongest and all the capabilities that said Spider-Man does, and you portray that in a positive way of him doing good, it gives little kids a good example to follow, to use that power for good rather than evil. So when you make a game that makes that character a bad influence, what do you think that those kids are gonna do? Like that lady earlier we talked about, kids are playing video games, just making them more violent. That bitch. All right, you're giving those people points when you're doing shit like this.
MJ still plays a role in Spidey 1, but she's just a reporter. She's working in her own way instead of being a girl boss and trying to usurp Peter's male authority. Peter faces off and defeats Martin Lee, and then later on his own friend, mentor, and role model, Dr. Octopus. In the game's final moments, the villains unleash Devil's Breath on the city, and Peter must decide whether to save the people of New York or save his own flesh and blood, Aunt May. In a moment of heroic sacrifice, Peter chooses to save the city over Aunt May, who is essentially like his own mother. Despite a couple of woke things in it, Spidey 2018 is an amazing game, and it's about the heroic sacrifices we must make in order to become men. Too bad they completely cucked Peter Parker and made him a mouthpiece for gay propaganda in 2023's Spider-Man 2. Moving on. Does anybody remember the OG Rainbow Six games on PS2 and Xbox and then later on 360 and PS3? Bro, these games were so badass. I'm a strong believer that all I need to do is listen to the menu music of a game and it tells me everything about the game I need to know.
Yes! Rainbow Six Siege, Vegas 2. I love that. I love that one. Yes, that is true. Generally, there is a small rule of thumb in the back of my head. If I don't enjoy the theme song to the menu music, I'm not going to enjoy the game. That's kind of a small rule of thumb.
Also, look at these covers, dude. Squad-based counter-terror, my dude. This was the plot for Rainbow Six Lockdown. In 2009, Rainbow, led by John Clark, deploys the Alpha Team, commanded by Ding Chavez, to rescue the South African president from a rebel army surrounding Pretoria. Elsewhere in the city, the Global Liberation Front, an anti-Western left-wing terrorist organization led by Bastian Vanderwall, steals Legion, a nanite aerosol bioweapon that causes massive hemorrhaging and has a 100% fatality rate. Like, dude, that sounds like a game I want to play, and pretty much all of the Rainbow Six games had plots kind of like this. Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2 are the ones most people are familiar with.
Yep.
Terrorist Hunt was very fun, as was the multiplayer. These games weren't like Call of Duty at all. If you just rushed in and started firing, you and your whole team would die immediately.
Yep.
You had to carefully breach doors. You were able to set your guys up on multiple doors at once so you could attack targets from multiple angles at once, which would lead to much fewer fatalities. So what happened to Rainbow Six? Well, gay-ass Six Siege happened. Rainbow Six Siege came out in 2015, and it's a gay game where you could blow off some steam with the girls at the end of a long day. So like 50% of the operators in Siege are women.
What is...
Out of the probably 200 operators in Rainbow Six games from 1998 to 2008, do you know how many were women? Like 2 out of 200.
Yeah, maybe
and that's
2.
actually realistic. In real life, in the real world of PMCs, it's maybe like 1% women in combat roles. So immediately what we saw with Six Siege and the fact Angela Bassett was their commander now is a pussification and a gayification and a homoification of the entire Rainbow Six series.
He's right. It's just funny to hear it out loud.
Nobody cares, and you have brain-rotted Zoomers just eating this game up and still playing it because nobody gives a flip about realism or masculinity or authenticity anymore.
They care about gameplay, and it's really sad. Gameplay is important. If you don't have good gameplay, you probably won't have a good game. But, man, you could really ruin a game with everything else.
But it gets worse. So the original Six Siege had you fighting the white masks. All of the gameplay and multiplayer stuff you were doing was just to train for new terrorist threats. The white masks were one of the threats. And fighting the white masks was a pretty fun PvE game mode that they later removed from the game. Okay, fine, pretty standard stuff. But in 2020 was when Six Siege really jumped the shark. According to the official lore of Six Siege, in 2020, Angela Bassett retires and puts this cringe millennial hipster dude named Harry, and he's brought in as the new leader of Rainbow Six. That's right, this dude who looks like a barista and has a podcast about his cats is now the leader of Rainbow Six.
He does look like that.
I can't do this.
What?
So again, you're not going to believe this junk, but this is all part of the official lore of Six Siege now. In 2020, hipster millennial Harry has the brilliant idea to take Rainbow Six, give them all airsoft guns, and turn what they do into a live competition event on stage with a bunch of cheering fans.
Are you serious?
So I'm sure huge Siege fans are like, duh, Andy, this happened a while ago. But look, I don't really follow this game or the story anymore, and so just recently found this out. I just think it's hilarious that...
Whoa, wait a minute. The actual lore to Rainbow Six Siege is the fact that they created a stadium so people can go buy tickets so they could watch elite soldiers go at each other. Are you mad? And half of those soldiers are women and gay. I'm happy I haven't played Rainbow Six Siege in years.
This game is full of gay operators and girl bosses, and you aren't even fighting terrorism anymore, and you guys keep playing this slop. Can Rainbow Six get any worse? Of course it can.
How?
Osa was added in 2021 as the game's first man to put on a dress. In 2023, Tubaro was added as the first woman in the game to pretend to be a man. Guys, if you're still playing Rainbow Six Siege, it's time to call your dad on the phone and tell him that his son is gay now. I'm sorry. Rainbow Six is full of girl bosses. It's fully black girled. It's fully gay and woke as a brand now.
That's
Just
sad.
go play Squad and Insurgency and Ready or Not if you want a real game. On the topic of Tom Clancy, I was chuckling recently at this terrible dialogue in The Division 2 that shows this cucked man. Watch this.
Don't be such a baby.
It hurts.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't have punched a wall.
Better a wall than Sarah's face.
She deserves it.
Ow.
You're fine. It's not broken. You don't even need a bandage.
Look, you left that key around my neck, and you never thought to tell me what it was protecting?
Guys, why is every modern male
Oh
character
my
in video
God.
games like this? This ugly bull dyke over here is basically the man. in
This
the
ugly
situation.
bull
She's the one
dyke.
leading.
Jesus.
She's the one being a badass. The guy is like, owie, my fingies hurt. Ooh, where is there a big girl boss that will help me? I'm such a cuck. But guys, this is what Ubisoft has done again and again with their games. I actually don't even want Ubisoft to make another Splinter Cell game because they would just turn Sam Fisher into a gay, disabled black girl boss.
Oh my God.
By the way, pretty much any of the Tom Clancy stuff
I am
Ubisoft
afraid of
did
them making
prior
that
to
game. They're gonna
2015 was
ruin it.
usually pretty based. Was just playing Future Soldier tonight and it's full of chads.
It's a big rig, that's all I'm saying.
She got that 6.7 liter V8, so I mean, I figure she's the better deal.
Birdie, live on a base, not a ranch. That should work.
The final game I want to talk about that captures the complete pussification we are experiencing in modern video games is 2023's 125 million pile of DEI dog shit, Immortals of
no, I heard
Avium.
about this game.
Now you might look at the cover and think, okay, tough looking dude, this might be pretty masculine. Then you start the game and realize that you play as this kid. Then he starts talking and it's some of the cringiest MCU dialogue you've ever heard.
Did Caleb ever tell you his plans for this caper he's got in mind up in Topside?
I think he just likes to say caper.
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 It's a fun word.
Feels sneaky.
Oh my God. I'm so sick of these freaking boomer developers with their stupid, terrible comedy. No one likes it. So tired of that stupid boomer energy.
Target practice?
Why not?
Bro, I can't take 8 hours of dialogue that got rejected from Ant-Man and the Wasp Part 5.
No offense, but what we do is kind of like pew pew pew. A Magnus is like pow bang. Brrrah.
Oh my
Just
God.
imagine the 42-year-old millennial chuckling to themselves as they
Yeah.
write this. The kids are gonna love this one. But it gets worse. Your name is Jack, and the person you're following, your mentor, is this chick Luna, who is, of course, a lesbian black girl boss who you're probably secretly in love with, and she rejects you. Within the first hour of the game, she dies, and the bad guys kill her.
Oh,
And
thank
guys,
God.
this is not a joke. She is replaced by another lesbian black girl boss who is now giving you orders.
We're
Are you
almost out of
shitting
time,
me, man?
Jack. Sandrak attacks us from all sides, and there is no place left to run.
Like, when I tell you that liberal millennial men just have a fetish
Wow.
for being told what to do by black women, are you starting to see it now? Jack, the main character, is a total cuck. He has no thoughts of his own and is just doing what all these black girl bosses tell him to do. Would you believe me if I said it gets even worse, though?
No.
At about the 2-hour mark in this game, you encounter a big-backed trans woman who is also bossing
Stop.
you around. and
What
telling
is
you what to do.
that?
This is not a joke. Guys, will these companies ever learn? I've never seen so much money.
I am Sarah.
Go directly down the toilet drain before. All they had to do was put a tough masculine dude in the game, put a hot chick on his arm who is maybe a damsel in distress.
Yes.
Done. Go and print your money. All right,
Yes.
so what should I compare Immortals of Avium with? I mean, I could really pull anything from the 2000s and it would look better by contrast. Red Faction Guerrilla, Mercenaries 2, Splinter Cell.
Red Faction
But just
was
because I
great.
want to talk about it, Army of Two.
Yes.
This game is literally like an injection of testosterone.
I
when you play
loved it.
It's just buff dudes shooting guns and saying badass stuff. Watch this cinematic and tell me this isn't the most badass thing ever.
In his farewell address to the nation, President Eisenhower left America with a strong warning. Ernest Stockwell, CEO of Security and Strategy Corporation, says that warning was misguided.
Yes.
The future depends on the private military.
To fear the military-industrial complex is to fear progress. Look at the operation in Somalia. 35 U.S. soldiers dead, hundreds wounded. But not a single private contractor was injured in the operation. We outperformed the military and achieved all our objectives flawlessly.
So basically, the American government calls back its troops and forces and just says, we're going to have Tyson and Rios handle everything now. Could there be a more badass intro to your character in a game?
Guys, I played Army of Two so much, and that was my... Oh, I want another game like that.
See, boys, games from the 2000s were all about male, masculine fantasy.
They need to come back.
We want to be the hero of the story. We want to be at the center. We want to save the women and the children and the damsels in distress. All of the women should be obsessed with us. Video games have always been about male wish fulfillment. Xbox wonders why they had to lay off 9,000 people this year. It's because you quit making video games about male fantasy and you put a bunch of gay nonsense in your games. It's as simple as that. But in closing,
basically, he is right.
Here, I want to talk about the real reason for the pussification of video games, and it's a couple things. Number one, we let too many women into the video game industry.
Oh, man. Yeah, you know, I think if you have the skills to do a job, I don't care what you have in between your legs as long as that job is not going to kill you. But you need to really have a reality check and understand who your target audience is. I think it's valuable to have a couple ladies in the office just because their minds work differently. Their minds work like this when guys work like this. So it's good to have different ways of thinking. Now, when you completely flood an environment that produces essentially a product made for men 9 times out of 10, and you have 8 out of 10 people making that product, and those 8 out of 10 are girls, that's gonna be a product made for women, not made for men. So
if you look at this chart here, women have been trending more and more liberal in America the past 20 years. And the big problem is that we have been hiring and allowing these liberal women into our hobbies. Although I love Last of Us, which came out in 2013, games like Last of Us and Life is Strange in 2014 started this whole movement of people talking about, quote, empathy in video games. Video games are no longer about male fantasy. They're, quote, art now. Games are art and are about learning to empathize with others. People beginning to talk about video games like this 10 years ago is exactly why we're in our current predicament. Video games are not about empathy. They're not about being some trans goblin. They're not about learning from people different than us. Video games that men will go out and pay $70 for have always been about one thing: male wish fulfillment. We want to be the hero. We want to be at the center. We want to blow shit up. This is our hobby, and it is our right to do that.
Well, obviously, I agree. I'm gonna give this guy a thumbs up, and I will put his link into the chat here. But yeah, give that guy a follow, subscribe to him, give him a like. He's legit. I like him.